Snyder's Creepshow Cavalcade.
Good evening, everyone. Before we begin today's episode of Brian Snyder's Creepshow Cavalcade, I just want to start off by apologizing to everyone for the lack of content as of late. You know, with this pandemic going around, you know, normally doing videos is what helps me, but I decided to take a little break from the video making and do other activities. That way the video making didn't get old instantly. Well, so with that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy these two stories for today's episode.
Number 1.
Sometimes, as a nurse, you come across many different entities. It is universally believed in the healthcare world that dying people live in between the living world and the afterlife, no matter what you believe the afterlife entails. I was working the night shift in a hospital. This particular patient was very sick and probably not going to make it out of the hospital. During the night, he began yelling, "Christy, Christy, Christy." I said, "Mr. Doe, my name is Kelly. I do have a sister named Christy, but she died 8 years ago." My patient said, "I know. She left you with those kids." Now, this made me uneasy because when my sister passed away, I took over custody of her children. His next statement was one of both comfort and shock. He said, "She wants you to know you're doing a good job." He died 5 days later.
Number 2.
It was the summer of 98 or 99. I was on summer break from college, and I told my brother that I would babysit my nephew one day. Now, the house that he lived in with his girlfriend at the time, I had heard different stories of it being haunted. The basement was set up like a bedroom/apartment, and that is where they typically stayed. It was her mother's house. They had big metal/aluminum wardrobe-like closets in the basement, and the biggest story I had heard is that one night, I don't remember if it was her mom or aunt, but they heard a loud banging coming from the basement, and it seemed to be that all of the doors were opening and slamming. At least that is what stuck in my mind at the time. There were other stories too. Anyways, back to my tale. So I said I would babysit my nephew the next day when they went to work. I wasn't driving at the time, so I just stayed the night. They slept upstairs, and yes, I slept in the basement. So the weird stuff started happening that night. I was laying on the couch watching Howard Stern when it was on the E. I remember it because ICP was on. So anyway, I'm just laying there, and I hear the door open up to the upstairs, and my brother yells down, "What was that noise? You all right?" I said yes, and explained I was on the couch and I didn't hear anything. And that was that. So I went over to where the bed was to go to sleep for the night. From the bed, if I had laid on my right side, I could see the couch in the area where I had just been. So early the next morning, it was still dark. I woke up to what sounded like one of my nephew's toy boxes being knocked over. Now my brother would get up early for work, so I thought it was him just getting dressed and not turning on the light to wake me. So I rolled over, and what appeared to be a shadow figure walked across the room and sat down on the couch. I went upstairs to use the bathroom up there, but I think there was a bathroom downstairs and saw my brother. I asked if he was just downstairs, and he said no. I went back down and turned on the lights. Nothing was knocked over, and everything was as it was the night before. Needless to say, I turned on the TV for some light and went back to sleep. I think I stayed for a couple more times that summer, but nothing like that happened again. What happened that night, I am not sure. Did I see a ghost? Did I have a supernatural encounter? Or was this just built up in my head, and was I asleep and dreamed it? I don't know. Hey everyone, thank you for listening to this week's episode of Brian Snyder's Creepshow Cavalcade. Now, to submit me your real-life creepy encounters, submit them to one of the two, either my email address or to my subreddit at Creepshow Cavalcade. Links will be in the description below. So, with that being said, hope you all have a good night, and I will see you next time here on Brian Snyder's Creepshow Cavalcade. And don't forget to stay creepy in a good way. Bye-bye.